Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nikki D, whatever you want to say, and I am back with another video. If you are new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that way you can join the It family. Because if you're not subscribed to the It family, then what are you doing? And if you're returning It babe, welcome back to the chat. As you guys have read in the title, today's going to be a January and a February recap. This is something that I do want to do on my channel monthly, but I didn't do January, nor did I do February. But I take that back, I did do January, but I just don't like the way it turned out. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's just record it tonight. So we're going to be recapping my January and February. It is currently 9:07 p.m. I currently have a date at 10 o'clock. So I'm about to get ready, recap January and February while I'm doing my makeup. And I ended up purchasing me a cut water. This is my first drink in I don't know how long, maybe like 2-3 weeks. So cheers. I recently just filmed a makeup video, so that's the reason why I'm not about to go in depth about my makeup. We're just about to be doing my makeup and I'm gonna be talking. Okay, starting off with January. January was actually an overall good month for me. In the month of January, I ended up getting my first brand collaboration, 1 out of 3. So I ended up getting my first brand collaboration with Babala Bags. They actually reached out to me, wanted to partner and work with me. So I got my first brand collaboration. That was towards, I'm not gonna lie, they wrote me towards the end of December and I received my bag in January. So I did my first brand collaboration in January. But before, okay, so that was just to start off with January, because I started off in December. Now starting off in January, I somehow ended New Year's Eve in a figuring out stage. New Year's Eve, and I woke up somewhat on New Year's Day in a figuring out type of stage with someone. I don't remember how the conversation went on New Year's Eve because I was, you know, pretty loaded. But basically someone I'm still cool with to this day, even though we don't talk like that. We basically met, when did we meet? We met sometime last year. It was a little bit after my divorce, I believe. A little bit after my divorce. We ended up meeting or whatever, became real good close friends or whatever. He always had told me he always liked me, always had a crush on me or whatever, but I just never like, you know, really wanted to take it like serious because he did have some type of reputation that I was just like, yeah, no. But we ended up becoming real good close friends or whatever. So basically I guess we confessed on New Year's Eve to each other, you know, that we liked each other. So January 1st I ended up waking up in, I wouldn't say a relationship, but a figuring out stage with someone. That was the beginning of January. So that's how I started off my January, trying to figure out some things out, seeing if I was compatible with this person. We definitely didn't hop into a relationship. We was just like, you know, we're gonna see if we align. We know we align as friends. We're gonna see if we can align, you know, in something serious. So that was January. That was the beginning of January. Now, you know, during the process of us figuring out, maybe like a week in, maybe like the, what was it? Was it like the first week of January? It was like, in the beginning of January. Okay, so as we were figuring it out, a week go by. So the first week of, that was like the first week of January. We're in a figure it out stage. Now I ended up telling him that I didn't think that it was gonna work. Hold on, y'all, I gotta do my brows. A week go by. It was some things that I just didn't align with, you know, the new me. So we ended up having an adult conversation, and I'm very proud of myself because that was the first time I've ever really had like an adult conversation with like breaking up with someone. Usually like I'll ignore someone, I'll just like basically go ghost. I've never really had like a proper real breakup, even though we weren't together, but it was somewhat like a breakup because I was just like, you know, it's not gonna work. Just because I didn't want him to change who he was, and of course he wasn't going to change who I was, and so I just didn't think that we aligned at this time. Who knows, maybe in the future, I don't know, but I just know not right now. It just like, I just wasn't certain things that I was not willing to compromise on, or compromise on. There was certain things that I wasn't going to compromise on, and I didn't want him to change who he was, and he sure couldn't change who I'm becoming. So you know, it was just best that we were still friends. So you know, that was like the second week going into January. We were like, you know what, we're still gonna be friends, cool friends, close friends. You know, just a relationship is not gonna work out with us, and we were fine with that. We were fine with that. Now, after that, I ended up back talking to someone that I started talking to last year as well. You guys definitely have heard his voice. Definitely been on FaceTime with him, and I actually flew out. He actually flew me out to see him. So we started back talking. We started back talking, and during that process, I ended up meeting someone else. Y'all, January was just like a month of dudes just flying out of the woodworks, and we're gonna get into that. So January, I believe this was like the 3rd. No, this is not the 3rd because my birthday, I believe, was the 3rd week of January. So this is like the 2nd week of January. I ended up meeting someone. Remind you, he is, I think, 2 years younger than me. So of course I never would have knew who he was. We definitely didn't go towards the same schools or anything. And then we also don't know the same type of people. So I kind of liked it that, like, you know, he was like a lay low type person. I liked it that. So I ended up meeting someone else. We started, you know, casually conversating, talking. At the same time, I'm still talking to, we're gonna name them. So, okay, so the first person I was talking about that it didn't work out in the beginning of January, we're gonna name him Homeboy. That's Homeboy. So we off of Homeboy. The second person that you guys know, heard his voice, he flew me out, we're gonna call him Fly Out Babe. And then the third one we talking about, we're gonna call him, I need to hurry up, y'all, because it's, yeah, the third one we talking about, we're gonna call him Young Babe. Okay, so with Young Babe, we ended up started talking. We met through Instagram. Not gonna lie. I ended up shooting my shot, and of course slam dunked. Yeah, so I ended up reaching out to him. Of course he responded, and we started talking like that. That's how we started talking. Yeah, we basically started talking like that, and then a few days later, we ended up meeting each other out, and that's Young Babe. Okay, so we got Young Babe and we got Fly Out Babe. So you know, through the month of January, I'm talking to Fly Out Babe, and I'm also talking to Young Babe. Now for my birthday, Oh, I'm skipping. I'm skipping. Okay. Okay. So before I even start talking to young babe, brace yourselves. My fucking ex ends up reaching out to me. The first message he ends up sending me, I'm not too sure if I'll insert it. He ends up writing me a long paragraph trying to apologize. Basically saying like he kind of like started over and leave. He apologized. He wish he can go back in time. X, Y, and Z. So, that's the first time he's actually, well, I'm not gonna say that's the first time he's reached out, because I would get private calls on my business phone number, because he does not have my new number. I ended up changing my number as soon as we broke up, so there's no way that he has that number, not unless a family member could have gave it to him, and the only thing that family member I'm thinking that could have gave it to him, and I'm like, I don't think like he would have, because that would have messed up his business if he would have gave him my number. So basically he ends up, hold on, let me wet my beauty blender. My ex ends up reaching out to me. He ends up writing me on Facebook. Now, for the ones that don't know, I ended up deleting my Facebook last year. I went maybe like 6-7 months without a Facebook. I ended up deleting my, instead of deactivating, I ended up deleting my old page, because I'm just like, was this before the breakup? I think this was before our actual breakup. I ended up deleting my my Facebook, but I ended up deleting my Facebook, and then in September I ended up making a new Facebook. So I maybe went like 6 months without, I want to say like 6 months without a Facebook. So I ended up making a Facebook in September. Now, when I made my Facebook in September, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm not worried about my ex, you know, nothing, you know. So I ended up making a Facebook. I made a Facebook like late at night or whatever. And, you know, I'm just like adding pictures, you know, just like, you know, just not thinking no one's even going to find me. You know, I'm not going to pop up in nobody's shit. Make a long story short, the next day, I'm like, you know what? I don't want my ex to see anything. Like, you know, I do have him blocked on everything. I had him blocked on Instagram. I have him blocked on TikTok. I have him blocked on any social media that I have, that I know he could have. I have him blocked. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to block him on Facebook. So I'll go to type in his name. I'm off topic with January's recap, but I have to lead y'all up until January's recap. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna delete. I'm like, I don't want my ex to see my stuff. You know what? I'm gonna block him, y'all. Before I could even block him, tell me somehow he found my page. He found my page and blocked me. And I'm just like, first of all, ain't nobody checking for you. What the fuck you blocking me for? Like, you want to feel important? And I low-key feel like that's what it was. Like, you want to feel important. Even though he was still checking my shit. Even though he was still checking my shit from, you know, his sister's shit. Like, certain people and certain fake pages will pop up in my views, and I'm just like, this ain't nobody but you. It could be somebody else. Miss Delulu. But I'm like, Miss Delulu, like, I gave you back your man. You shouldn't even be watching me. So, I don't know. But jumping back into January. So, I'm not gonna lie, I ended up seeing that he unblocked me. Because he popped up in my you may know. So I'm like, what the fuck you unblocked me for? I'm like, what the fuck? So he ends up unblocking me. And I think maybe a day or two later, I'm sitting at work and I get a message from him. You know what? I think I am gonna incorporate it. I think I am gonna incorporate it. But yeah, I'll leave the message on the screen. But basically, you know, trying to apologize. Apologize to me, saying he's sorry. You know, just saying that. Obviously, which you guys can see what he's saying. So when he sends me the message, I didn't open it. I kind of just like scanned through it because it popped up in, you know, my notifications. But I'm like, I don't want to. I'm like, we have nothing to talk about. Like, I don't care if you're sorry. You know, we don't have nothing to talk about, sir. We don't have nothing to talk about. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'm not gonna write you back. I'm like, it's been how many months? 7 months we haven't talked. Let's keep it that way. So yeah, so he ends up writing me. I don't respond, nor do I open the message. Now, the next day, okay, so when he sends me that message, I see that he starts watching my, you know, my stories. I'm just like, fuck is you watching my stories for? I'm like, you feel me? Life's great. You feel me? Life's been great since I left you. Like, life's been great, babe. You don't have to check up on me. You don't have to check on me. One thing for sure, one thing for certain, two things for sure. I always bounce back. You feel me? Not even bounce back, cause I didn't even take no loss. I let go of a fucking headache. But I see that he's in my abuse, but I'm like, okay, you want to watch me? Just, I'm like, okay, cool, watch me. But I'm like, I'm not gonna reach out to you. Like, we have nothing to talk about. Like, there's literally nothing we have to talk about. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like you don't have to check for me. But yeah, ends up reaching out to me, and he's watching my stuff. But I'm like, you know what? You just want to watch my stuff. That's cool. So the next day, he ends up writing me, because he's watching my stories. But I'm just like posting stories. You guys know, like, for the ones that got me on social media, you know, sometimes I just low-key just be sharing stuff or whatever. So I'm sharing stuff. He ends up replying to a story of mine. I see it. I don't respond, because I'm just like, we have nothing to talk about. Like, you want to have a conversation so bad, and it's just like, it's not gonna happen. Like, for the ones, not even to like just make this like an ex video, but my ex is used to basically leaving people. He's not used to getting left. So I think when I left him, it was like more of like an ego thing. And I think when he's and I honestly feel like when he's reaching out, it's just like to basically help his ego. It's not genuine. It's basically to, you know, just be like, oh, I can get her back. And, you know, I don't know, I just feel like it's just like an ego thing, because he got left. I don't think it's like genuine. So like every time he reached out, I'm just like, you are not used to getting left. You are not used to getting left. You're used to doing the leaving, and you're used to having, you know, revolving doors. And I honestly feel like I'm the only female in his life that he's ever dealt with that was just like deuces, and, you know, I haven't looked back since. Like, there's nothing that we need to talk about. So I really feel like it's like an ego thing. So he ends up replying to some of my stories or whatever, because I'm posting stories, not responding. So he reaches out to me on a Sunday. Now, by Tuesday morning, okay, he reaches out on a Sunday. He's replying to me, I'm not responding, and this is on Monday as well. I'm not responding. By Tuesday morning, it's, you know, I wake up for work early. At 5 o'clock in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning, this man decides to come to my house and play Rod Wave. First of all, this made me upset, and this is why I had to change my Wi-Fi password, because I still have the same Wi-Fi password, you know, that I've always had. So he ends up coming to my house. Remind you, now he ends up coming to my house at 5 something in the morning. Remind you, I don't know that he comes to my house until maybe like 45 minutes to an hour later, once I actually get to work. Okay, follow me. How many minutes we on? Follow me. Okay, follow me. So he ends up coming to my house, connects to my Wi-Fi, and basically tries to play Rod Wave on his speaker. He connects to my Wi-Fi that I pay for and tries to play Rod Wave. Y'all, tick me the fuck off when I seen it, because first of all, why are you coming to my house? Second of all, it's been 6-7 months since we talked. Why do you feel like it's okay to come to my house? Like, first of all, I'm dating. Let's put that out there. You don't know who I could have at my house. You don't know if who I have at my house don't play that. And who I do have at the person I do have at my house or had at my house don't play that. So it's like you could have got yourself in a dangerous situation. Good thing I didn't have any company or anything, but what if I had company? You know, like, I'm just like, you could get yourself into a dangerous situation. Like what the fuck? So make a long story short, he ends up coming to my house or whatever. I'm not knowing that he's here, but he ends up playing Rod Wave on the speaker, maybe for like a good 20-30 seconds, and ends up walking off or whatever. Then he writes me on Facebook. Remind you, I'm getting ready, so I'm not even really paying attention to my phone. But he writes me like, I got scared, so I ended up taking off. Who even told you to come in the first place? Let's be honest. I don't know. So yeah, that was that. Still ignoring him, still not talking to him, still not responding back to him. Now, Wednesday come. I'm working from home. He ends up door dashing me food to my house. So I ended up writing him, and I'm like, you know, basically like, you know, like, you need to leave me alone. I'm like, you know, I'm not responding for a reason. I'm like, we have nothing to talk about. I'm basically like, you know, I moved on. You made your decision. We were together, you know, like, you know, I'm like really telling him like it's over. Like, you know, I moved on. I'm not too sure what you did, but at this point, baby, you should have moved on. Like, you know, he's like, I haven't moved on. I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, that's not my problem if you moved on or you didn't. I know, like, I will never revisit that chapter again. I already know how that chapter begins, how that chapter begins, how it goes, and how it ends. Cool. Don't want it. Hold on, let me spray my face, y'all. So basically, I'm having an arguing match with this man about him leaving me alone. So I ended up breaking no contact to tell him to leave me alone. But remind you, my sister ends up, you know, writing him and telling him like, you know, like, you're harassing me, like, I'm not responding, I don't want to talk to you, like, leave me alone. So I had to put on my big girl panties, and I had to like finally like break the no contact. Remind you, haven't talked to this man in 7 months. At that point, it's been 7 months. And you know, I had to put on my big girl panties, and I just had to tell him like, you know, like, leave me alone, I don't want to talk to you, you know, like, you know, it's done. Like I said, I'm having a whole argument match with this man about leaving me alone. So that was just that. By the grace of God, after that, after me blocking him, I ended up blocking him maybe like like 2-3 days after that, or a few days after that, maybe like a day or so after that, or maybe that day, I blocked him. And yeah, that was that. So moving to, so after that, a few days after that, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Now this birthday, this was like the best birthday in I don't know how long. Like, this birthday, I honestly felt the most loved. I had literally like all my friends, all my family, like the people that I talk to on a daily come out and celebrate with me. So I had the best birthday. I just really enjoyed it. I ended up bringing in my birthday with Young Babe. So Young Babe ended up coming over after work, and Young Babe brought my birthday in with me. We had a ball, got drunk, had a time, had a ball. He ended up leaving that next morning. I don't think he left that night. He ended up leaving that next morning. Yeah, he ended up leaving the morning of my birthday. And had a ball, had a time the night before my birthday. Moving into my birthday, you guys know it's Aria's birthday as well, so woke my girl up to her gifts, sent her to school. I had therapy on my birthday, so that was great. I love talking to my therapist. Like, my therapist is like my girl. We're locked in. So I had therapy. I ended up taking my girl, after therapy, I ended up taking Aria pizza and soda to her school. What else did I do after that? After that, I ended up getting took to lunch. Someone took me to lunch, and then I ended up picking up a birthday gift on my birthday. And then, of course, picked the girls up. Then me and Aria ended up having our dinner. Now, the day of my birthday, of course, me and Aria had our dinner. Aria went with KK, and then Alea went with Kaylee. Me, Cookie, and Damari ended up going out. I ended up meeting, okay, so before that, damn, I gotta go a little back. Let's say Polly Babe, because we're gonna name him Polly Babe. Polly Babe ended up reaching out to me like a few days before my birthday, trying to talk to me or whatever, and I ended up seeing Polly Babe the night of my birthday at a club. Well, we went to a bar, and he met me at the bar. So ended up, after dinner, ended up going to the bar with Damari and Cookie, ended up meeting Polly Babe. Basically, birthday was a blast. Next morning, okay, so after I came home, Friday, so Thursday was my birthday, ended up coming home, Friday morning, I wake up maybe like 6-7 o'clock. Young Babe called me. Young Babe like he wants to come see me. He has work at like 1, and he basically want to just come cuddle, come sleep with me, basically. Not sleep as like sex, but he wants to come like sleep with me, like he wants to come cuddle with me. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm still lit, still drunk, turned up, you feel me? So I'm like, okay, cool. So Friday morning, the girls ended up not going to school either, because they both spent the night at my sister's houses. And God don't play about me, because I wasn't even trying to send my kids off, but both kids just ended up at the dinner just went with each auntie, and I was just like, I ain't mad at it. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out. So Young Babe ends up calling me that morning, maybe at like 6-7 o'clock, and was just like, are you at home? I'm gonna come over or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So Young Babe comes at like 7 in the morning, 7:30. We ended up cuddling, going to sleep, grown folks business, but ended up going to sleep or whatever. And yeah, we ended up waking up at like 12. He started getting ready for work, and then I'm like, I think I low-key got over my hangover at this point. But I'm like, I gotta go get my kids. I'm like, basically, I'm getting back into mommy mode. I'm like, I gotta get my kids back into mommy mode or whatever. So I brought in my birthday and ended my birthday with young babe, basically. So that was that. Now moving into the following week, at the same time I'm still talking to Fly Out Babe. Now Fly Out Babe, we basically talk, me and Fly Out Babe, we basically talk, we basically like talk all the time. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so that's that. Birthday success. The following week, which is the end of the week, which is the end of January, Fly Out Babe ends up flying me out to Washington. Now, me and Fly Out Babe been talking since May, I think from maybe October, November being the latest, for a few months or whatever. We've always said, like, originally he've always said that he wanted to like fly me out there to come see him, but I'm like, I can wait till you come. I think he was like, he's gonna come in like March, April. But Fly Out Babe, like, no, I want to see you. He's like, and you need a little vacation, relax or whatever. So Fly Out Babe ends up flying me out the following week after my birthday, which is the Washington vlog. So towards the end of January, I ended up flying out to Washington to see Fly Out Babe. It was a pretty cool time up until maybe like the last night, and I just noticed, like, me and Fly Out Babe are not compatible. I feel like more than ever in life, I'm not gonna settle, nor am I not gonna change myself or just do anything that does not feel right to truly who I am. So had a great time. You guys seen the vlog, but just me and Fly Out Babe wasn't compatible. So I ended up going to Washington, ended up coming back home. I ended up stopped talking to Fly Out Babe the day I came back. I was just like, it's not, I'm just like, we're not compatible. I'm not going to change who I am, and of course I don't want to change who you are. We're just not compatible, and that's okay. I'm learning in life, people are not compatible, and it's okay not to change who I am, and then also for them not to change who they are just to try to meet my needs. We don't have to meet each other's needs if we don't think it's really gonna work. So that's that. Fly Out Babe, and that's I ended up coming back February 1st. So that wraps up January. I ended up coming back February. Me and Young Babe still talking. Me and Young Babe still randomly seeing each other throughout the month of February. What major really happened? Beginning of February. I started talking to my girl. We locked in, I ain't gonna lie. You guys seen her in a vlog. She ended up taking me out for my birthday. Oh, I forgot, in January my girl and my other ex-girl ended up taking me out for my birthday. They took me out to dinner. But February, me and my girlfriend, I call her my girlfriend, we're not in like an exclusive relationship, but that's still my one day. Me and her kind of like locked in of saying, like, we actually really want to like start trying to pursue each other. We made it very clear we still talk to men, but like girl wise, we're the only girl that talks to each other. Okay, so that's that. So that's the beginning of February. What else happens in February? Before Valentine's Day. I'm trying to think before Valentine's Day. I end up getting back in contact with someone that I dealt with. When did I deal with him? I dealt with him in 2018, 2019. Yeah, 2018, 2019, I ended up getting back in contact with someone in February. He ends up taking me out on a date. We ended up going out on a date. Had a great time. Still in contact to this day. Not as much, but you know, we still talk or whatever. And Valentine comes around. Of course, I spent Valentine's Day with my girl. You guys seen her on the vlog. I posted a vlog. Valentine's Day, that's that. Moving into the end of February. We're getting into the end of February, because now we gotta like wrap up the video. Moving to the end of February, young babe ends up finding out that I went out to go see Fly Out Babe. So young babe ends up texting me this message, you know, just basically like, I'm not gonna lie, he low-key went off on me. He went off on me. And me and young babe stopped talking in February. So mind you, I lose, because I feel like I can still get them back, because Fly Out Babe still to this day is not my friend on no social media, but still watch that story. But remind you, I ended up cutting off Fly Out Babe. I got cut off by Young Babe, because Young Babe was not playing it. Young Babe like, oh, you got me, like, he sends me a message. I say paragraph. I mean, he hot. He hot about me getting flew out. So that's that. So he ends up cutting me off. I mean, eventually I might try to work my way back in. But right now I don't think it's like nothing major. But yeah, I end up cutting out Fly Out Babe, and Young Babe ends up cutting me off. What else happens in February? February, I ended up cutting off liquor. It is March 19th. I'm barely having like my first actual real drink. But basically, I ended up getting lit the morning of one morning, and this is the end of February. Oh yeah, this is the end of February. This is literally like 2-3 days before March starts. I ended up getting lit in the morning. Cool though. I ended up getting a wax by Deja. Shit's still fresh, and it's the 19th. I mean it's like it's going back, but y'all know what I mean. Ended up getting a wax by Deja. Shout out to my girl. My world. If you do not know already, book Deja for your wax. I'm gonna leave her Instagram right here. Make sure that if you're in Fresno, California, make sure to get waxed by my girl. If you're in Fresno and you do not get waxed by my girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? But I'm gonna leave my girl @ right here. But yeah, make sure to check out my girl for your waxing. I ended up leaving my wax appointment. I ended up I'm turned lit, ball blast. I ended up coming home, made it home safe. As I am parking, I end up hitting someone's car. Took full accountability. Like once I did that, I kind of like somewhat sobered up, but I'm still turned. So I took accountability or whatever. Why I'm gonna fight the lady in the car who I hit. as I'm into it with her, her man's come out. You know, arguing with her, her man come out. Remind you, I'm turned lit, not even really knowing, like, you know. But I'm on the phone. Good thing I'm always on the phone with my girls. But I'm on the phone with my girls or whatever. So Amari ends up showing up. Not even knowing Amari come on her way. Amari ends up showing up, seeing what's going on. My friend, true friend, get you all some true friends. That's going, yeah, step every time. My friend also, Amari. I love my friend Amari. She like, you know, don't do it, like, it's just gonna be drama, y'all live by each other, don't do it or whatever. But yeah, basically that was my January and February monthly recap. Now y'all gotta stay tuned for March, because March, y'all gonna be clenching your pearls, because March, it's only March 19th and March has been marching. Literally, March has been marching. Yeah. I'm going on a date tonight with someone new. Oh, well, he's not new. He's not new. He's just someone I haven't talked to in years. But yeah, but that is my January and February monthly recap. Make sure to thumbs up this video. Let me know down below in the comments, what was the most juiciest, was January or February the most juiciest month? What was the most interesting, juiciest month to you, and which I was like, ooh, about. So yeah, comment down below, was January or February the most juiciest, most interesting month? Let me know down below. I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure to thumbs up this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, you know what, I didn't even do my lip. Let me do my lip. Hold on, y'all. Alright, I gotta touch on my edges, but other than that, see you guys in my next video.